I want to welcome all of you to class today. Majority of class time will be for you to work on your research paper, but we have a couple of activities that we're going to do ahead of time to help you think about what you will write before I turn you loose to work on your paper. So you can see from this agenda, those of you who are at home, what we will be doing in class. We'll be looking at organization of your essay and academic note time. Then we're going to look at a sample essay and grade it and use your rubric. And then finally, you'll have the time to work on your paper. So in class, the last couple of times I've actually talked about the organizational strategy ahead of time. I want you to think specifically about what you're going to do and pick one of these three options and write it down in your academic notes along with some possibilities of what you could write about in each section of your paper. So for example, if you were to select option number 2, that tells me that the majority of your paper will deal with the problems. So for the introduction, part of what you're going to be talking about will be the background itself. And so think about in your academic notes some of the background information that you have that you could just jot down as ideas of what to do. And then think about if you are building the problem in your body. Are you having one problem that you're going to discuss, multiple problems? What specific parts, how could you break that down to develop the body section? And then what are you going to talk about in your conclusion? So write down one of the options and jot down a few notes about what you could do as you build your 6 to 8 page research paper. Remember that in a problem solution paper, these 5 things are important. Number 1, you need to interest your reader in the problem. And remember, you have a college reader, so it needs to be new information, especially in the body of your paper. But get into the significance of that issue in the introduction and why it's important for it to be solved. And then you're going to explain your solution clearly so that people know what to do. And number 4 talks about convincing your reader that the probability of the solution is logical, whether it's cost effective or whether it's change of attitude, whatever it is, that something will actually take place rather than just people will never solve the problem. And finally, you need to convince your audience that your solution to this problem or solutions is the right way. So there's a tool that maybe some of your grandpas have, and they're called Swiss Army knives. And what they do is kind of a jack of all trades, so where you can figure out what you're doing or use that tool for any kind of task that you have. A reverse outline is like a jack of all trades exercise that will teach you how to organize your paper when you actually start writing it by looking at someone else's. So if you look on this bullet, that there are 3 bullets that you need to think about your upcoming paper. Make sure that you meet, whether you determine if your paper meets its goals of the thesis, discover places to expand on the evidence or analysis, and see where the readers might get tripped up. So you're going to practice with someone else's essay. So in your packet, you have lots of sample essays. I'd like you to pick one and create the reverse outline. See what they did in the introduction, jot it down. See what they did in the body, jot it down. And see what they did in the solution, jot it down. So stop the video and do that exercise quickly. The other thing that I would like you to do is go back to the essay that we talked about last time, Do Animals Have Emotions? And to familiarize you with the grading sheet, I want you to pull out the rubric in your extra handouts and look at it and then grade that essay as to whether or not it follows the guidelines of what a research paper should be. And hopefully this activity will help you know what you need to do before you start writing. Finally, before you start, remember you need to think of the word synthesis, as you've got all these different sources and you're synthesizing the information. When you have a fruit smoothie, you don't have a chunk of apples and you don't have a chunk of bananas and you don't have a chunk of grapes. It's all mixed together. And so think of your resources as those fruits that when you put them into your paper, it's going to be all mixed up. So in your body paragraphs, you're going to have several different fruits or several different sources, in your case with the paper, in every paragraph. So remember, you want it to be blended together better. If this concept seems confusing to you, in the teacher notes on this slide, you'll notice that there is a video that you can watch. It's short, that helps you to synthesize information. So as I turn the time over to you now to work on your research paper, these bullet points are really important. Remember, you want to synthesize your sources. You want to use a third-person objective academic tone. Make sure that every body paragraph supports your thesis, and then in every body paragraph you have a topic sentence with supporting details, and where you've synthesized multiple sources into each body paragraph. And remember, you want to balance your quotes, paraphrases, and summaries. Shoot for a goal of having no more than 15% of your paper quoted. And remember that when you get that similarity score and turn it in when you ultimately submit your essay a week from Wednesday, your essay might be a little bit higher because the citations, of course, are going on the works cited page, will already be add to that score. Make sure that you document carefully, and anytime you paraphrase, summarize, or quote, using in-text citations and the lesson from last class period. Also, if you have any questions about MLAs, please refer to our class discussion last time, where we went over how to cite things. One of the slides in last time's PowerPoint tells you exactly what to put in the in-text citations. So refer to that slide or refer to the MLA guidebook in my teacher resources on Canvas. And remember that a week from today, you are going to have a 6 to 8 page research paper documented correctly, plus a works cited page. Remember, you're a college writer. Your content is going to be new information that's going to engage your reader, and that they should actually want to read it. So that's all for today. Majority of the time is for you. Get busy on your research paper. Thank you.